Hi everyone, welcome to this week's video. Thanks for joining me. I'm excited to do an empties video. This is going to be all the makeup, beauty, skincare, hair care, body care that I have used up in the past 3 months. So the second quarter of 2025. So this is April through June. And the total of everything that I used up was about $140 worth of products. So that is exciting. But before I get into that, I wanted to mention a couple of things. I know Amazon Prime days are going on right now, and I'm sure everyone is inundated with items and must-haves and blah, blah, blah. And I just want to say you save 100% of the money that you don't spend on Amazon. So this is in no way trying to get you to buy stuff, but I just wanted to let you know that some of the jewelry that I wear, which is already pretty affordable, is part of Amazon Prime deals right now. So it's this brand, I think it's called Pavoi, Pavoi, and I have bought a lot of the jewelry on Amazon before, and so far I have had no issues with tarnishing or the color coming off or anything. So I've been pretty impressed, and it's very affordable. So these little studs right here that are like a knot, and then my V-shaped hoops are that brand. My simple pendant necklace is that brand. So just something to check out. I'll have these linked below if you want to buy them on sale or not buy them at all, no pressure. And then similarly, this bracelet stack that I wear a lot, which you probably don't see as much in the videos, it's actually 6. And so you get 2 of each size. I usually wear 3 or 2 at a time. This is also part of Amazon Prime deals, I think. So I will link that below. So I just want to share a couple really affordable things that are part of the deal that you could save even more on. And like I said, I've had a really good experience with all of these with no tarnishing or anything rubbing off. So I just wanted to share that before we get started. But if you want to see everything that I used up in Q2, then just keep watching. I'm keeping everything in this bag. I just throw out my closet and then just toss things in there. So let me organize it real quick, and then I'll kind of go through body care, hair care, skincare, and then makeup. So let me do that real quick. So let's start with some shower things. So the first thing that I used up was my Blake Brown shampoo. This is the Blake Lively brand, and this was the Fundamental Nourishing Shampoo in the Wild Nectar Santal scent. And first off, the packaging is super weird. I don't love it because you've got this big bulky thing and this huge lid you have to unscrew every time, and then it's just so small. So I was really curious if I was able to actually be able to get everything out of here because of the packaging shape, but I feel like I did. And this was a good shampoo. I actually think it worked really well. I just don't love that this costs $18 to $20 at Target, and then on top of that, I don't know how I feel about Blake Lively anymore, so I don't know if I want to be giving her any money from my shopping. But I did think it was a good shampoo, so I do think it at least worked really well, considering it was kind of one of these celebrity brands, which are always kind of hit or miss, but I do think it worked well. I just will not be repurchasing it because I think there's other shampoos out there that can be just as good, and I don't know, I just don't feel like she needs my money. So that's that, but it was good. And then the next thing I used up in the shower was my e.l.f. Makeup Melting Balm. I love this stuff. It's $11, although I think I did see that e.l.f. said they are going to be raising their prices again by $1 per product. I feel like they just did that a year ago, and they're already doing it again. And I get it, times are tough, inflation, tariffs, all that stuff sucks. And I know that they still need to make money, but it just kind of seems a little strange. I don't really know if they needed to do that. So instead of $11, this will be $12. But I still think that it is relatively affordable for what it is. Out of all the makeup cleansing balms I've ever tried, and I've tried some more expensive ones, I still think this one works the best. It is the most emollient, and it gets everything off my face really easily and rinses off clean. I'm not left with a film or a weird layer on my skin, which I have felt sometimes with other cleansing balms. Sometimes they're almost very waxy, and this one is not. This one's more melts into more of the creamy face washy kind of texture. So I still really prefer this one. So even though the price is going to go up $1, I think in the fall I will still buy this. Next, let's do body care. So what you would do after you get out of the shower. The first thing I used up was this Burt's Bees body lotion, and it is for normal to dry skin, and it says it's the milk and honey one. I don't really know. This was in my stocking at Christmas, I think last year. So I finally was like, I need to start working through some of my lotions because we got a lot of lotion right now. So I used this up. It was fine. I personally have never been a huge Burt's Bees fan. I feel like their stuff, like I just said about the melting balm, I feel like a lot of their stuff is like very waxy and sometimes just kind of is almost too thick and like doesn't rub in that great for me. So I don't know, it's not something I would repurchase, but I did enjoy receiving it as a gift. And then I used up this Degree dry spray deodorant. I usually use the Dove dry spray, and so that's my go-to, but they must have been out or I was somewhere where they didn't sell it and I really needed some, so I bought this and it was fine, but I've already gone back to my Dove and that's what I will stick with in the future. So now for some skincare. I used up one of my Garnier Micellar waters. This is the huge one that you can get at like Ulta and Target. It's a little more expensive, it's like $15, but it lasted me a really long time and I always use micellar water. A lot of times I will do like the cleansing balm, especially if I'm wearing a full face of makeup that day. I will do cleansing balm in the shower and then my normal face wash. And then when I get out of the shower and I'm doing my skincare routine, I will do the micellar water just to make sure I got everything off. So I do like to, I guess, triple cleanse because I'm doing cleansing balm, face wash, and then this. So I have repurchased this. I think I also got the value size again. So it's just worth it and it lasts me a really long time. So I always like that micellar water. I used up 2 little sample packets from, I think these were from CosRx, and it was just 2 of their like moisturizers and like it was fine, but I would never like go buy a full bottle of that on purpose. But I'm trying to use up as much as I can in my collection, even the small things, little sample packs and everything. Next thing I used up was this vitamin C serum that I got on Amazon from Dr. Althea, and I liked it. I didn't really notice that much of a difference, and it seemed affordable in the moment when I bought it, but when, it's gonna be hard to tell, but when you look at the bottle, it actually like is quite thick. So the product was really only like here. So I actually feel like I went through it really quickly. So since then, I have decided to purchase the Naturium vitamin C serum instead. It's also quite expensive, but I had heard good things and just the like price per ounce and everything, I just felt like maybe that might work a little better. And so far I'm really liking that. So I don't know if I would repurchase this again, but I would keep it on my list as a potential for the future, but I don't think I'm going to anytime soon. And then I have 2 sunscreens. One is my favorite and that I used up. It's the Neutrogena Dry Touch. We have SPF 70. This is also what my husband uses. I absolutely love this. I think the Ultra Sheer Dry Touch is the right description for this. It rubs in really well and it leaves, it's more of the dry feeling, like not drying as in like bad for your skin, but once you've rubbed it in and it's there, like you're not left with this like greasy layer and it completely rubs in, which is what I love so much about it, and obviously it works really well. So already repurchased. I will always repurchase the Neutrogena Dry Touch sunscreen. Another sunscreen that I tried out was this CeraVe mineral sunscreen, and this I did not like. CeraVe is supposed to be really good and like recommended by dermatologists. There's some in here, so I'll see if I can demo. But it like left a super weird cast and I felt like it just like would not rub in. So I don't know, maybe that's just kind of a pet peeve that I have about sunscreens. And I don't know if it's the fact that it's like mineral, but like, okay, so you're rubbing in it and I feel like it's like looking like blue and gray when I'm rubbing it in, and then it just like never fully rubs in. It just like I feel like that looks so weird. Like I don't like that. That's what I like about the Neutrogena is that it rubs in and it rubs in to be like invisible. That's what I want. I don't want this like weird blue gray cast. And then on top of that, when I'm done, like it feels sticky. Like I don't know. I was like disappointed because I was like, CeraVe, I thought you were supposed to be good. It's pretty much gone. There's like maybe one use left in here, so I don't feel that bad getting rid of it right now. Last thing we'll do before the makeup, I used up one of my body mists from the Frenchie brand from Target. This was the Solar Floor scent, which I really enjoy. I have since repurchased it, and I think I got the which one did I get? The sage one, I think. I just really like these. They're affordable. I think it's like a nice, easy body mist, and I've repurchased it a number of times now and will continue to do so. And then I used up 2 more of the little perfume samples that I have. I have like a little container of these in my closet, and I'm just trying to work through them. And I know sometimes you can pick these when you do like Sephora orders and things, or like order from other places. Sometimes you can pick a perfume sample. I usually do that because I don't ever want to spend money on perfume, but I got to a point where I had so many of these, I was like, oh my God, I gotta start actually like wearing them. So the first one I used up was from Poco Rabanne, and it was the 1 million elixir. I will try and put the scent notes on here. I don't remember anything specific about this one, and I think it was just kind of meh. And then the other one I used up was another Gucci Bloom one. I like this scent, and I think other people like it too. I've had people ask me what I'm wearing before when I've had this sprayed, so I did enjoy that. But again, it's just perfumes or something I just don't think I'm ever gonna buy a full size of, but they're just like fun to work through if I have them. So that was that. So now for the makeup, and I will say, considering that it is 3 months worth, I was kind of hoping I would have more makeup empties, but when I was putting together the items for this video, and then I was like looking at what I have in my everyday drawer and my project pan right now, I was like, I definitely think in the next quarter, so July through September, I'm gonna have a lot of makeup empties because I feel like I'm like on the verge of so many of them right now. But this quarter I did use up 3. So the first one, this was part of my project pan, I believe. It was the e.l.f. Plumping Gloss in Champagne Glam. I liked this. I am not gonna buy another one just because I didn't love the plumping at the end. It kind of felt a little strong. If you like that, maybe you would enjoy this. But it was one of those, since it was in my project pan and I was using it constantly, I was kind of like over the sensation. So used that up, enjoyed it. It's a pretty color. I like that color, but I'm not going to buy anytime soon because I just need a break from the plumping gloss. And the other 2 makeup items I used up naturally. The first is one of the e.l.f. Luminous Putty Primers. This was a luminous one, and this was just a mini. So that was nice to kind of use that up. I enjoyed it, and it's one of those ones like I have another mini of these that I'm working on, and when I'm done, I was like, I honestly feel like I might consider buying a full size of this. I actually really like this primer. It's got that silicone base feel, and I do feel like my makeup really sticks and like holds up better when I use it. I usually just put this in my T-zone. So I enjoyed this and would consider buying full size when the time comes. And then the last thing I used up naturally was my NYX Bear With Me concealer. I really enjoyed this. I had this in the shade Vanilla. My only qualm is that I do feel like there is still product in here, but no more is coming out of the pump. And I like dismantled the pump and tried to get stuff, and like I just can't like get the packaging open to like get that last little bit. But I do think that this is a high coverage concealer, and there were definitely a number of days where I only used this and no foundation, and I really enjoyed it. So I definitely think that I will be repurchasing this in the future. I have a few other concealers that I'm working through right now, but when I'm ready to buy a new one, this is definitely a drugstore one that is high on my list. So that is everything that I used up in the months April through June. Like I said, the grand total of the value of all of those items added up to be $141.50. So that brings my grand total for the year to $325 worth of products that I've used up. And then it also is 3 makeup items that I'm adding to my usage for the year. My goal is to either hit pan or completely use up 25 makeup items in 2025. So we're adding these to the list. So I think this puts me at 8, which, like I said, I was kind of bummed when I saw the number. I was like, 8 out of 25, that's not even halfway, but we're halfway through the year. But like I said, I think I've got a lot of makeup empties coming in the next few months. So I'm just gonna stay positive, keep going on that train, and see where we end up. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please give this video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're updated of all of my upcoming videos. Check out the jewelry links below if you're interested in buying some of those on sale for even cheaper than they already are. And yeah, I will see you all next time. Bye.